Happy Thursday. We got some good stuff. For the most part, it makes sense, but there's a blip in here where things just kind of get random. You're going to see it's good stuff, though. I really like it. And by the way, Gen Zers, stick around. Got a quiz for you. So if you're not a Gen Z, you're going to love it anyway because you're gonna get a kick out of it. I know it. I promise. All right, mortgage rates. Womp womp. If I had a little slide whistle, I'd use it. 7.5. It is what it is. Check it out. We're still getting beat up. So again, down is bad in this instance. Red is bad. Hopefully, we're done getting beat up. Why are we getting beat up, guys? Hot economy, warm inflation. Question mark? Reason why the question mark is that tomorrow PCE comes out. So long story short, without reading all this, the economy, looking back for Q1 GDP, the gross domestic product, that's the pace and how much we're growing as an economy, hotter than expected, which means jobs are still doing good, which is wonderful. I'm glad people are employed, but it doesn't mean good things for rates. So jobs keep coming along and people keep getting new jobs and not enough people are getting laid off and inflation is not coming down. It's being real sticky. So tomorrow's number will certainly determine a lot of kind of where we go from here. But the reality is, guys, it's just no bueno. So rates are up and I think they're going to stay up. As I've been saying for a while, I just don't see rates coming down that much this year, unfortunately. So my prediction at the end of last year was rates this year will end up in the mid sixes. We'll see if I'm right. Okay, new home sales. Thought these were really interesting stats. They have been revised. They've increased 8%, but here's the reality. The median sales price, notice I emphasized median, in March of 2024 was 430,000. The average sales price was 524. So taking you back to math, guys, average is what you know it to be. The median says which one's in the middle, which means in this instance, a lot of the lower priced homes are selling and the big ones aren't. This represents, these two numbers apparently, represent about 8.3 months of current supply. The all-time high record was in January 2009 after the mortgage meltdown of 12 months. So not ideal. The all-time low record was 3.3 during COVID, August of COVID. So look, 8.3 with these seasonally adjusted estimates. And again, this is new houses, new homes. This isn't the whole market. But I just thought that was interesting. Thought I'd share. A couple other things, build to rent. It's up 300%. So what does that mean? 307%. And Dallas-Fort Worth is definitely up there. We're number 2. Not necessarily a great thing. Why? Because big institution, big investors, they're buying these new communities. I know one in particular area where a whole community, a whole subdivision is being purchased by private money, which means, why is that bad? It means it doesn't create inventory for buyers. Yes, for renters, but not for buyers. So that's part of the reason why there's such a housing shortage for people to what can they go buy? They can't go buy these things because the builders are building them to rent. Cost of buying, as we all know, price is up, rates are up. It is what it is. This is the most recent stat I saw. It's 11% up year over year for the monthly payment. More fun colors with graphs. Check them out if you want to slow down. Good for you. Dallas. I just picked this because I just like the logo. But for those in North Texas, I thought this was interesting. The average down payment, it's definitely increased by 90 grand, give or take. So in 2019, it was 275. And just last year, it surged up apparently 44% from that number to 395,000 for down payment. That is a huge number. The inventory, this is what I talked about earlier about the inventory here in Dallas. It is shortage. We have a 2.6 months of housing inventory on the market. That is super stupid low. So remember a couple slides ago, I just told you it was 3.3 was the all-time low. We're at 2.6 here in Dallas. So 6 months is considered a stable supply. We are well below that. So we need more homes. I've been saying that for a long time. So this is where it gets it's hard to make segues here for some of these things, but I just want to throw this up there. People are like, it's a bubble. Guys, more equity than ever, which means like these delinquencies are basically some of the all-time lowest we've ever seen. People are not going to be late on their mortgages. And if they are, they're going to sell it before they get foreclosed. So it's not going to be a bubble like last time. No surprise, home renovations, they're big. Shameless plug. We can help you with your home remodels and renovation loans and all that stuff. Call us, we'll help you out. But the reality is it makes sense that renovations are booming because I got a 3.x rate. I don't want to move. So you're just going to make your current house nicer. So a bunch of fun with graphs. Look at this, 8% bottom right, hate their home, 8%, but they love their mortgage, 51%. I just thought that was pretty funny. It's true. Baby boomers, I just like the chart on the right. It's the only reason why I really showed this. It certainly shows that people don't want to part with their homes because, again, the great financing they have. But on the right side is just the median net worth by generation. I just like to throw it out there so you can kind of compare and contrast and see generations, what's going on. Stocks along that net worth that I just showed you, the one before. I thought this was interesting. If you don't follow the stock market for the last, I don't know, 3 to 6 months, give or take, there's been the Magnificent Seven, and it's these stocks listed below. And it shows you from the start of this year to year-to-date performance compared to where the peak. Tesla, you may or may not know. If you do follow the stock market, you do know. And I think they've had a bump since this was done. I think Tesla ran up the other day, but nonetheless, I just thought this was interesting. So I'm sharing it with you guys. Hopefully you find it's interesting. My PSA, this is a plug for my buddy Evan. If you're in North Texas, Dallas specifically, my buddy Evan, lowermytexaspropertytaxes.com. Give him a shout, see what he can do to help you. He's a stand-up dude, wonderful man, and has saved me a ton of money on property taxes. So this is my PSA. If no matter where you are, everybody's going to be different. Different appraisal districts have different deadlines, but if you haven't contested your property values, you need to. If you're a homeowner, every year you should be getting this assessment of how much the appraisal districts think your home is worth. You want that to be lower. You want that to be as low as possible, because that's what saves you money on taxes. So make sure you filed your homestead if you haven't already. Make sure you're challenging those taxes. If you need help, Evan's the man. I highly recommend and endorse him. He has saved us a ton of money. We once had 16 rental properties. The dude, year after year, surprised me on the money he could save us. So good for him. Use whoever you want or do it yourself. But guys, just make sure you're doing it. Let's have some fun. Guys, this is the Gen Z quiz. This link down here in the bottom left, you can see it in the black. Go there. It was like, I forget how many, 25 questions. My Eliza, I saw that she even put her own quote. Her response was, I'm definitely over 40 because I knew what these things were. Now, admittedly, that's not my toaster, that left image, but I knew it was a toaster. The rest of them is a really fun quiz. So go check it out, guys. It's super cool, super fun. And then if you're in a bar, this is how you win a bet for a beer. Brad Golden, I don't know Brad Golden, but he was traded for himself, literally. So in 1980, the Yankees sent him to Seattle Mariners for a player named Larry, plus 150 grand and a player to be named later. The next season, Seattle Mariners said, yeah, this guy's so bad. They named him as the player to be named later, and they traded him back to the Yankees. So he literally was traded for himself. I don't know where Brad is today, but that'd be a good beer bet to win at a bar. Chasing excellence, guys. So health isn't everything, but without it, everything else is nothing. I don't know who said it. I don't know who this guy is, but it's so true. I went and just did the stress test on a treadmill for the first time this week. And I'm going to turn this into a business thing. Don't worry. Aside from the awkwardness of them having to shave my chest to put on all those wires and stuff, that was really weird. It's expectations. So I'm on the treadmill and they're like, oh, we're going to increase the incline by 1%. Well, what I didn't know is after 24 minutes, the speed picked up. So that screwed me up because I was like, oh, I'm going to get a record and I'm going to crush this. I'm going to do it for 40 minutes. Yeah, the difference between 24 and 27 was a big jump. And so it's expectations. So what are you doing in your business where you're not setting proper expectations to where people think they know something and all of a sudden it happens to them in the process or from your sales script or your sales team? If the expectations aren't set up front, it creates frustration and somebody's a little pissed off and very sweaty when they're dead with the treadmill because I didn't know the speed increase. So I will train for that next time. But that's the difference between expectations and reality, is just make sure you know what your customers are mentally expecting and then try to deliver that expectation. And then lastly, the meme of the week, meaningless statistics, they are up 1.5% this month over last. That also is the same joke of 78% of statistics are made up. But there you go, guys. As always, it's social. Share, give us some love, comment, subscribe, forward, all that fun stuff you're supposed to do. We appreciate you and hope you have a great and wonderful weekend. I will be home alone with the girls. Caroline's going on a girls trip. Good for her. So I'll be hanging out with the girls. If you guys need something, let us know. Have a great week.